Plus Sports and PlusTvAfrica, welcome on the show. My name is Wale Scott, and happy Eid al-Maulud to all our Muslim faithfuls. Happy Eid al-Maulud to you, Mikel Tinubu.
Thank you. It's
okay, this is not the Ram one, yeah?
No. It's Prophet Muhammad's birthday.
So. No chickens, no meat, nothing.
No, you're not getting anything from me.
Oh, okay. The 2021 Electoral Committee of the Nigeria Basketball Federation, headed by Larry Glover, will commence the collection of forms for intending candidates between the 18th and 19th of December 2021. A release by the committee ahead of the October 30th election slated for Benin City, Edo State, says all duly completed forms must be returned on or before 26th October, with a screening scheduled to hold on 27th of October. The committee directed that all forms should be submitted to the NBBF Secretariat in Abuja between the hours of 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. or via mail addressed to the chairman and secretary of the committee. Eligible candidates will vying for the vacant post of president, vice president, and zonal representatives into the North Central, Northeast, Northwest, Southeast, South-South, and Southwest zones. A final official list of candidates will be published, announced in the media, and sent to all members of the General Assembly, at least 2 days before the elective General Assembly is held. All campaigns must cease 24 hours before election day, while any form of corruption and other forms of direct inducement of voters may lead to the disqualification of the defending candidates, of the 14 candidates. The election will be monitored and observed by the Federation of International Basketball Associations, FIBA, and those from the Federal Ministry of Youth and Sports and the Nigerian Olympic Committee. Now, on the show this morning, I've got FIBA board member. FIBA is the continental governing body of basketball in Africa, and is also a board member of the MBBF. He's also the owner of Dodan Warriors Basketball Club. Welcome on the show, Colonel Sam Amedu, retired. Good morning, Colonel. Okay, we'll shortly have Colonel. Good morning, Colonel.
Good morning, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you for coming on the show. Thank you.
Yes, I am glad to be here.
Now, Colonel, there were some protests sometime last week over some candidates saying that Musa Kida should not contest again. Now, the question is, how well has basketball done under Kida so far?
Okay, first, let me take it one by one.
Okay, sir.
Anybody saying Shida should step down will be violating his fundamental right. Anybody who feels they have a better candidate than Shida should put that candidate forward, so we'll meet at the polls. So that is the first part. So the second part, Kida has really done very well. Nigeria, our international ranking has improved. Our girls won 3 back-to-back baskets. Our female team got to the quarterfinals of the World Cup, the first time in African basketball history. Our male and female team qualified for the Olympics for the first time in African basketball history. We have been able to have the female international referee for the first time in our history of our basketball. I can go on and then we have been able to establish the Division 1 and Division 2 league. And we have given independence to so many academies and organizations who are running their own competitions in the form of a business arrangement. Chida is recognized worldwide. And I believe that he has what it takes to move our basketball higher.
Now, recently, Colonel, we heard that the Tigers were protesting over their lack of payment. But of course, what we heard was that the MBBF, the monies they are fighting for is monies promised by Musa Kida that if they do well, not money from the government, they should be looking at the Ministry of Sports for their money and not the MBBF under Kida, if they want their monies paid.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Regarding that, let me first say that I am not in support of owing players money at all. Yes, but however, we need to put things in proper context. And yes, the players are owed, but like you have said, it is not their money from government. It is the money Chida who promised them. Okay, girls, you have done well. I'm going to give you 100,000. I'll give you $1,000 from my own pocket. Yes, Chida promised them. But, however, Chida has not been able to meet that payment because he has used his personal money to offset so many competitions that the competitions the teams have attended. Now, one of the girls said the money they were being owed was $73,000. Okay. But the same Chida also the same thing to go to Cameroon to win the African championship for the third time with his own money. And the money he used to sponsor them here is far more than what they claim that he has promised them. And the point is, if he didn't go to Cameroon, if the team didn't go, they will not come out there to come and start saying we won back to back. Nigeria will have lost that opportunity to have created a record of winning that competition 3 times in a row. So yes, Peter promised them and he said, okay, when I will get my refund, I will give you your own money. My own take there is that I am in charge of those girls. And that was the one that was making a case for them to be paid. But for God's sake, don't burn your house because your father promised you to buy you cake. And he has not brought you the cake, then you light matches and burn your own house. No, it is not fair because now sponsors will not take us being serious. So they are owing you, but the world has not come to an end. You can be paid. Some people say, no, pay them. One point I want to make, not every sports administrator is here to embezzle money.
True.
Somebody that is spending his money to run the team. Now, let me even add. These same girls that are complaining, they flew business class to the Olympics. No any other team flew in business class. Not the badminton players, not the table tennis players, not the athletes. Basketballers flew in business class. It costs them money, but they have not come to the air. They have not come on air to tell you, oh, we flew business class. There are some other rewards that they got. They come in Atlanta twice. They come in Las Vegas twice. They went to Belgium to go and play. It was either that have funded all this, spending money to be released. So I don't understand why they have gone overboard, coming to shout, hey. I think people are sponsoring them. People are pushing them. It is election time.
Okay.
Spoil his name. So that they will say he's not fit to be president.
Okay, Colonel.
If anybody has a candidate, let the candidate come, and then we will look at them. Then we will vote.
Colonel, let me ask you.
Elections are not won on the basis.
Colonel, let me ask you two questions now. So you answer me twice. First question is, the girls claimed that while they were in Tokyo during the Olympics, they were practically abandoned. They didn't see Musa Kida. But you were quoted to have said that Musa Kida could not make it due to COVID-19 complications, but you were there. And then secondly, you were quoted to have said that, listen, these are disgruntled people who want to actually affect Musa Kida negatively a few days to the elections. Now, two questions I asked there. First one, were you there with them in Tokyo? Were you really with them?
Sorry, you are not clear. But if I can maybe repeat what you are saying, if I'm wrong, tell me I am wrong. Are you saying that they said Musakida was not in Tokyo?
That's what the girls are saying, that you were the only one. You are saying that you were there with them, and Musakida was seen only once in a while. It was not seen at all.
No, my brother, Musakida is the president of the Nigerian Basketball Federation.
Yes.
I am a member of the Nigerian Basketball Federation.
Yeah.
Musakida cannot be everywhere as the president. He will delegate his lieutenant.
So were you there? Were you there at Tokyo with the girls?
I was in Tokyo. Musakida was in Tokyo. was in Tokyo. But we were not accredited to enter the games village because of a model by the Nigerian Olympic Committee. We were not allowed in the game village. But we were in Tokyo. We watched all the games. We were in the hospitality suite VIP with the minister, with the president. NOC, we watched all the games. We were not accredited to go to the games village.
Finally, Colonel, before I let you go on the show today, the question is, you have said that these are disgruntled people who want to just malign Musakida a few days to the elections. Will this affect Musakida's election plans in any way?
Sorry?
You have called them disgruntled. You have called them disgruntled people who want to malign Musakida. Will this affect Musakida's re-election in a few days?
Okay, no, well, if that is their strategy, I wish them luck. Because elections are not won on the basis of Facebook. Elections are won based on your record, based on what the basketball people. And the majority of Nigerian basketballers see what Musakida has done, and I assure you, I can guarantee you that he has my vote, and I'm going to be a delegate at that election.
I want to thank you very much for joining us at such short notice on the show this morning, Colonel Sam Amedu. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
And good luck at the elections next weekend. Good luck.
Thank you.
Yeah. Now, going into the game, Arsenal were in 11th position on 10 points after 7 games, while Crystal Palace were in 14th place on 7 points. 59,475 fans packed Arsenal's stadium. Arsenal opened the scoring in the 8th minute with a shot from Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Christian Benteke scored in the 50th minute as Crystal Palace leveled the score. The assist came from Jordan Ayew. Crystal Palace pulled ahead in the 73rd minute when Hudson Eduardo scored. Now the draw left Arsenal falling to 12th place on 11 points. The next Premier League game for Arsenal is at home to Aston Villa on the 22nd of October. For Crystal Palace, this draw saw the team remaining in 14th place with 8 points. Crystal Palace's next Premier League game is on 23rd October at home to Newcastle United. However, Arsenal coach Mikel Arteta says hard work and not luck gave them the last gasp equalizer. Well, Colonel Amedu just finished by saying that they are disgruntled people. They're trying to malign Musakida and that he will win. He's a FIBA member and also NBBF, so he's going to be there like 2 different ways. But he's optimistic Musakida will win. And he has listed out things that Musakida has done, well, what basketball has excelled in under Musakida, and that's a long list, really.
Yes. The great struggle for any leader is the fact that most people are unaware or completely willingly ignorant of the achievements they've accomplished. We never really know what's going on behind closed doors. He has provided an insight into the kind of man Kida is, and honestly, I would be inclined to, if I had any say at all, I would be inclined to vote for him to continue.
Now the Champions League resume. Of course, matches to be played. We know Shakhtar is going to take on Real Madrid. And I was telling somebody a few minutes ago, I was like, Shakhtar will take Real Madrid to the cleaners. I've always described them as a team in Ukraine, a Brazilian team in Ukraine.
Ukraine, yes.
It's Shakhtar Donetsk. They are in Ukraine, but everyone in that team is a Brazilian.
Right.
And I'm wondering.
Full compliment. Obviously, Real Madrid is struggling this season, both in the Champions League and in La Liga. And the inconsistencies make it an exciting watch, will make it an exciting watch, because Shakhtar Donetsk are capable of pulling upsets. Even in previous years, they've been capable of pulling upsets against the likes of Chelsea, Manchester United, even Real Madrid in the past. And
they've held big teams at the jugular many times.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
I think we'll have the draws for today and tomorrow's matches on the screen shortly, and we'll look at some other matches to be played. We know Liverpool will take on Atletico Madrid.
There's a huge,
massive
difference of opinion on how that will go. Obviously, they've played a lot.
Okay, Besiktas take on Sporting. Manchester City go to Club Brugge. Shakhtar Donetsk take on Real Madrid. Paris Saint-Germain take on RB Leipzig. Atletico Madrid host Liverpool. Inter Milan host... Okay, we've got Ajax taking on Borussia Dortmund. Porto travel to Milan. But everybody's talking about Liverpool against Atletico Madrid.
Yes. Liverpool have struggled against Atletico Madrid. They've drawn 2 games against Atletico Madrid, lost 3. They've never actually beaten Atletico Madrid. And the fact is, they have a problem with Madrid teams. The last time they faced Real Madrid, we saw how that went, but obviously they got to make up for it the next season by winning the Champions League. But then as defending champions, they lost in such unflattering manner to Atletico Madrid at a time that everyone thought they were going to go from strength to strength. They still finished league champions that season, but they were unable to go very far in the Champions League. And going to Atletico Madrid's home, the Wanda Metropolitano, it's going to be...
But somebody has to ask, Barcelona against Dynamo Kiev, a very fumbling Barcelona, remind you of Manchester United right now.
Yes.
And they're going against Dynamo Kiev, who are a compact team. They've been together for a while. Consistency is key in that team. And they're going to be going to the Camp Nou.
I think the fact that they're going to be at the Camp Nou, and if they decide to play compact, wait to absorb pressure and then launch counterattacks, it might play into Barcelona's hands, because Barcelona in a precarious situation right now where if you put enough pressure on them, they could fold. But if you allow them to come on to you, they will be in their natural state. And then they will pass you around, keep the ball moving across from one side of the pitch to another. And even though they have a relatively young, inexperienced squad right now, those boys have been together for a long time. And Ansu Fati is back. He's playing fantastically. We saw how he played against Valencia. Depay keeps doing well for the Barcelona team. So it will be an interesting
Before
watch.
we go to our next topic, don't forget, most times, Russian Zenit St. Petersburg has always been a banana peel for most Italian clubs. And the old lady of Italian football, Juventus, traveled to Zenit St. Petersburg. This is an old lady that is, after the loss of Ronaldo, actually just holding on to a branch these days, you know?
Well, I think when you look at Juventus, they can go up against any big team. The fact if you saw over the weekend how they played against Roma, it kind of reminded me of how they played against Chelsea in the Champions League. When they go up against big teams, they know how to be compact. They can pull 10 men back to defend. And then when they counterattack, they know how to push their pacey wingers. Kulusevski, Chiesa, Bernardeschi, all these players are capable of getting up the field and making something happen. But if they're going up against a Russian team that will probably respect them just as much as Juventus respect all the other
And they're always
teams.
more disciplined.
Yes.
Russian teams are always much more disciplined.
Much more disciplined. It will be a change because Juventus have succeeded in repressing and repelling the attacks of other teams who play as though they were desperate to score.
The Italian teams, they have the best defenders in the world.
Yes.
Man United against Atalanta. Man United are planning to actually a two-pronged attack, Cavani and Ronaldo. They bring in Jadon Sancho.
We'll see if it
but
works.
Even Chelsea against Malmo.
Chelsea against Malmo is a walk-off. It's a walk-over.
It should be.
It should be.
Let's look at the Olympics. The United States Olympics and Paralympics Committee have refused to be drawn into the row between China's human rights record that has sparked protest in the run-up to next year's Beijing Winter Games Activists have urged the International Olympic Committee to take the February 4th to 20 Olympics out of China, given its treatment of Uyghur Muslims, along with other human rights concerns. China denies human rights abuses. An independent UN panel said in 2008 that it received credible reports that at least 1 million Uyghurs and other Muslims have been held in camps in Xinjiang. Early on Monday, human rights activists unfurled a banner reading "No Genocide Games," waved the Tibetan flag and called for a boycott of the Beijing 2022 Winter Olympics during the torchlighting ceremony. In ancient Olympia, Hirschland said Team USA athletes have been preparing for the Beijing Olympics for 4 years and that the US OPC plan to ensure they get their chance to compete. One of the Tibetan girls arrested in Greece, of course, she's been released, was released yesterday. She says they were standing in a public place with the flag, the Tibetan flag, and says that Uyghur Muslims are going through a lot. The US say it's an ongoing genocide in China. But the US Olympic athletes say, listen, politics is a government problem. We want to just go there and compete.
Well, I would say that the Olympics is a big stage. I think anyone should be capable, able to use their natural, God-given, and legally accepted right of free speech to use that stage to say whatever they want.
Yes, they can, but don't forget that the Olympics itself actually goes up against politics in all the aspects. Don't forget the guy at the Olympics who was actually banned and sent home because he refused to fight an Israeli.
Yes,
and I think it was Palestine.
I understand that, but I think that as an organization, the IOC doesn't need to back it. They don't need to back political speech. That is their prerequisite. They're trying to foster a world where sport trumps political divisions. I understand that. But people who are athletes, people who are trying to use the stage to send a message that something like genocide, like the repression of freedom of speech is unacceptable, should be allowed to do that because that's just their right.
Okay, well, that's all we can take on the show today. Wish I could stay some more, but when you're having fun, time just goes so fast.
That's the nature of
Thank
sports.
you very much, retired Colonel Sam Amedu. Of course, he is a board member of the Nigerian Basketball Federation, also a board member of FIBA, the continental governing body of basketball. Of course, the owner of the Down Warriors Basketball Club who play in our league. Well, the league has not been functioning for a while, not the male league, that is. Plus Sports and Plus TV Africa join us same time tomorrow. Same station. Mikel, Idamalud to you once again.
Thank you.
My name is Wally Scott. Like I always advise you at the end of every show, if not for anything, at least for your heart, do some sports.